Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Daredevil, issue number 26. This was a solid issue, as we should expect. I think the guy who rates the book, right? Do we trust him yet? After all these years, do we trust him now? Anyway, guys, let's talk about who made this comic book. We'll get into the story itself. Mind you, this is a King in Black tie-in. A King in Black tie-in that actually works really well. All right, let's get going. This issue is called The Black Kitchen, Part 1. Chip Zdarsky is the writer, Marco Checo on art, along with Mike Hawthorne. They're both the artists of this issue. Adriano Di Benedetto on inks, and Marcio Menez on colors. VC's Clayton Cowles doing the letters. I know these names. Checo and Wilson doing the cover art. That's Matthew Wilson. No, his name was not mentioned here before. And Raza doing the Marvel versus Alien variant cover. Okay, we get very early in the book. We get a quick reminder of who everybody is. A later Luke Cage wannabe shows up, and he actually mentions Luke Cage just so that we don't think that it's actually Luke Cage, right? So we can be reminded, okay, this isn't Luke Cage. Because at first this guy comes walking up, I was like, oh, Luke's in here? Psh, Daredevil, Matt's going to be perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Luke's going to be watching his back. They good, right? It's not Luke. In fact, it's somebody who wants to beat him up. This will, I'm sure, come up later. I hope it does. Because it was a really great interaction. A lot of great interactions in here, including the interaction with the Warden, who, look, I'm going to give a one-word spoiler at the end of this review, and I will warn you in advance when that one word comes up. It's going to be a compound word. I don't want anybody getting all freaked out. Well, technically, no, it's one word, all right? But what do you call it? There's the Warden in here who actually has ties back to the original volumes of Daredevil, like Volume One, back when Gene Colan and was it Roy? I don't want to say who wrote the book because I don't remember who wrote the book, but like issue number 59 of the original run, that was Gene Colan. All right, to me, the best artist that's ever been on Daredevil before, one of the best artists ever. Um, seeing this seeing this reference back, it does several things here. One, it tells Matt that he's not safe in this prison. He's about to get in a lot of trouble, like real soon. There's so many ways he's going to get in trouble. And when you see what happens at the end of this book, the fact that something else happens to get him in trouble, as well as the other trouble that he's already getting in the book from the prisoners, this is Zdarsky's long-term storytelling capabilities, where it will take maybe 10, 15, possibly 20 issues for a part of this to be resolved, and still doesn't mean that the previous stuff is resolved. We're completely moving on from it. No, we're just progressing a little bit further. We'll come back to it later. Zdarsky has an incredible way that, unlike a lot of books where somebody say, what's a good jumping on point for something, people who don't really think about stories and things like that, and the way that stories can be explained and characters can be explained and whatever, like depending, because not everybody says, where can I jump on with a Daredevil or some other book, not everybody's going to be on the same level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, it depends. Do you know who Daredevil is? Have you at least watched have you read any of his comic books? Yes or no? Have you at least seen the Netflix television series? You know what I'm saying? Like where should I actually put you? Because if you know the Netflix series, that's easy. Jump on anything that Frank Miller ever did. You know what I'm saying? And just boom, go from there. You can actually see those original stories played out, and then you'll be more than comfortable enough to jump on wherever you won't need my help. You know, you might say, what should I read next? I'll be like, dude, anything you read, for the most part, it's going to be a different take on Daredevil, so enjoy. Maybe recommend this. You know, what aspect of Daredevil did you like the most? If somebody's read several Daredevils before, which aspect did you like the most? You like his lawyerly state? Oh, I guess that would be, but the frick Charles Soule, you know what I'm saying? The lawyer who wrote Matt Murdock. I mean, hey, there's lots of different ways to do that, but in this particular case, if somebody says, what's a good jumping on point for this story? I can honestly say, bro, the further back you go, the better off you'll be. And if you start with issue number 1, you will not be upset that you did that. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, technically, you could just jump on right here. This could absolutely be considered a jumping point. Look at the stuff in the beginning of the book, the preamble. You know what I'm saying? Look at the forward of the book. Understand why that Daredevil is in jail and why he is in jail, and boom, you're good to go. Jumping on point. Let's go. You know? But like I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm seeing Daredevil. I'm seeing him try to be a good person, and it's not working out for him. It's not. It's just not. And at some point, my man's he realizes that he's got to save because the King in Black stuff comes to the forbearance. We've already seen several other characters be like Typhoid Mary is in this, Kingpin is in this, Elektra as Daredevil is in this, a couple people in this, and a bunch of people getting a couple changes to them, right? Temporary, but nonetheless, maybe it'll be used longer term. Who knows? I trust that Chip can take something that should be just, oh, it's a quick little tie-in, but he's going to make this last a whole lot longer. I can 100% see him doing that where the effects will last longer. That said, what happens at the end of this, and here comes the spoiler, when Matt's thinking that he's doing the right thing, but he's clearly in over his head, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to steal a policeman's? But yes, he stole a policeman's baton. He's going to try and here comes the spoilers, guys. Like, go away if you didn't read this book yet, because you're not going to want to be you're not going to want to be spoiled on this. Just believe that. It's like you go and you grab a policeman's baton. Okay, cool, good going. Like this is exactly what I expected you to do. And then what happens? Like, oh, so that's the route we're going. And I've only got one word that this reminds me of the look by the look and everything that could possibly happen from here on with the way that Matt has been and what these Clintar are capable of, what Null seems to be capable of, and the way that at least I can see from a very far outsider's view of the way that Zardowski thinks is Shadowland. That is the one word spoiler, Shadowland. And oh hells yes, I am so on board for anything like that. Just the visuals alone, that's what this reminded me of. Now, is that where we're going to go? I honestly could not tell you. And I love the idea that I don't know. The unpredictability of a Zardowski book is one of his finest qualities, because it's not just, oh, it's unpredictable because like the slapstick humor and blah 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 blah. No, the man's has the ability to tell a story where you literally won't see it coming until you're riddled with Ultron's bullets. You know what I'm saying? So I really liked this. I liked this probably more than I expected to. I didn't expect to see the ending of this comic book and be as surprised, pleasantly surprised as I was. So this was really good. Guys, cannot recommend Daredevil enough. Again, this would probably be a good jumping on point. Actually, you shouldn't be here if you haven't read this comic book by now. So shame on you. There's not a jumping on point. Go back to issue number 1 and read them all. God damn you. Anyway, for the rest of us, good stuff, right? I'll talk to you guys later. Like the video, watch the ad on the way out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.